A very good morning, dear children. How are you all? Yes. Today we are going to start a new chapter. Before to start, shall I ask you one question? Can you see me now? Certainly not, isn't it? I know that you can't see me now. Now, just wait. What about now? Yes. Now you can see me, right? What helps you to see me? What? Yes, absolutely right. It is the light. Am I right? Yes. In the absence of light, we cannot see any objects. In the presence of light only, we can see objects. Isn't it? Hope it is clear. In the absence of light, we can't able to see any object around us. But in the presence of light only, we can see the objects. Then can you tell me how you see the objects in the presence of light? Yes, I know some of you are telling the answer. Well, how do you see me now? The light that falls on me, that reflects into your eyes. That is it. The light that falls on me, reflect it into your eyes. It is because of that reflection only you can see me, not only me, all the objects around you. Now, sometimes you may have your textbook with you, notebook with you, and you can see that. You can see the objects in your room where you are sitting. You can see the mobile. Now you are watching the class. You can see look at the mobile. It's just because the light falls on it. In the extreme darkness, you cannot see the mobile, but of course you can see the video because light is there. In the absence of light, we cannot see any objects. Clear? Yes. The objects that we see around us can be divided or can be classified under two groups. Any objects that we see around us can be classified under two groups. Don't you know? Don't you want to know that? Just wait. Luminous object and what is that? Illuminated object. Luminous object and illuminated object. Before going to luminous and illuminated, don't you want to know the name of the chapter? Yes. What is that? We have already discussed about that. Light. Second term, shadows and reflections. Light, shadows and reflections, isn't it? Light, you know the importance of light, you have seen now. Then reflection also, it is because of reflection only we can see the objects. That also you had seen. Shadows, we will discuss later. Okay? Yes. So the objects that we see around us, we can divide it into two groups. Luminous object and illuminated object. Who can tell me what is meant by luminous object? The objects that gives us light. Such objects are known as what? Luminous object. With the help of the luminous object only, we can see the objects around us. Can you say, are all the objects luminous? Certainly not. Only few objects are luminous. Luminous objects, they give us light or they are the source of light. Luminous objects, they are the source of light. That means with the help of this luminous object only, we can see the things around us. Can you say some examples of luminous objects? The objects that give us light? Yes, sun. Yes, bulb, torch, candle, etc. Isn't it? These are the examples of luminous object. This luminous object can be divided into two types. Luminous objects can be divided into two types. Who can tell me what are they? You know the examples of luminous object. What are they? Sun, candle, bulb, torch, lantern, etc. These are the examples of luminous object. Clear? Yes. So, this can be classified under two groups. These luminous objects can be classified under two groups. Yes. What are they? Yes. Natural luminous object. First one is what? Natural luminous object. Second one is? Yes, absolutely right. Man-made luminous object. Natural luminous object and man-made luminous object. Who can tell the difference between natural luminous object and man-made luminous object? Natural luminous object, they are not man-made. Very simple answer. It is quite natural. Typical example is what? Yes, sun is a typical example of natural luminous object. And all the stars, sun and all the stars, they come under which type of object? Natural luminous object. They don't need our help to give the light. Does the sun need our help to give us light and heat? No, sun is a natural thing, isn't it? Sun is a star. All the stars, they are natural luminous object because they all give us what? Light and heat. Clear? Such objects are known as what? Natural luminous object. Then what about man-made? Yes, you know, candle is an example of man-made luminous object. Torch is an example of man-made luminous object. Then bulb is an example of man-made luminous object, isn't it? These all are man-made. Even though it gives us light, even though the bulb or the candle or the lantern or the torch, it gives us light. But still, they all are man-made. Clear? So, the objects or the luminous objects can be classified under two groups: natural luminous object and man-made luminous object. Natural luminous objects are objects that emit the light naturally. Man-made objects are objects that are created by the man with the help. You know, power is needed for this. Different types of energy are needed for this. You know, the man-made luminous object to give us light. So clear? Luminous objects are objects that give us what? Light. Clear? Or they are the sources of light. Then tell me, what is meant by illuminated object? Luminous object you have already seen. And what is meant by illuminated object? The object that does not have lights of its own. Can you tell me? Is you to tell me, I fall in which category? I fall in which category? Yes, I am a. Can you see me now? No. Then see now, wait. With the help of this small light, you can see me. Because the light of this torch illuminate me. Am I right? Just wait. Now you can see me very clearly, isn't it? Because when light falls on me only, you can see me. Because I am an illuminated object. In the absence of light, we cannot see the illuminated object. We can see the luminous object only. But if you want to see you can see the luminous object only. If you want to see the illuminated object, what should be there? Absolutely right. Light should be there. Light falls on that object. Beforehand you had already seen. In the absence of light, you didn't see me. But now, I am so clear to you. Am I right? Yes, you can see me clearly because light is there. Such objects are known as what? Illuminated objects. The objects that reflects the light. The object that reflects the light of the luminous object, they are known as what? Illuminated objects. The objects that reflects the light of the luminous object. It can be anything. It can be the sun's light. During daytime, we all can see each other. We can see any objects because what is there? Yes, sun's light is there. At night, we are using the candle. We can use. We are in some cases we are using the normally we use the electric bulbs. Otherwise we are using the lantern, torch, different things. Source of light we are using to light up the illuminated object. Earth is a typical example of illuminated object. You know that Earth does not have lights of its own, but still we can see the Earth. Why? Earth reflects the light of the sun. We all know it. Sun's light falls on the Earth. It's because of that we can see the Earth. And you all know that one part of the Earth may be day and other part it is night. Why? Yes, that part only the sunlight, when the sunlight reaches one part of the Earth, we can call that part as what? Daytime. And another opposite part, the part that doesn't receive the sunlight, that part is the dark. Or we can call that part as what? Night. As we know that Earth is rotating its own axis, and the same manner Earth is revolving around the sun also. So definitely the different area, the amount of sunlight it receives also changes. So the Earth is getting illuminated by the light of the sun. The part of the Earth that receives the sun, we can call that part as what? Daytime. And if the time that we doesn't, or the Earth doesn't receive the sun's light, that time we can call as what? Night. Clear? So these are the illuminated objects. Difference between luminous object and illuminated object. I hope it is clear. Now we can move on to what is light. What is light? Who can tell me what is light? Light is a source of energy, or light is a form of energy. We can say light is a form of energy. Any form of light can give us energy. Any form of light, whether it is sun, whether it is a candle, whether it is a bulb, any object or any luminous object, it gives what? Light or energy. It can vary from sun to the candle. I will just show a small example. Just wait, my dears. Now just observe these two luminous objects. One is the bulb, another one is the candle. Which one is emitting more light? Is it candle or the bulb? Yes, it's the bulb. Even though candle also, even though the amount of light released by the candle is less, candle is also releasing energy. So the sun, we know that it is an ultimate source of energy. We cannot compare any other luminous object with the light of the sun. But still we can just, to make you understand only, I have done this comparison. The candle light and the light of the bulb. See, both are entirely different, but still both gives us what? Energy. Hope it is clear. Yes. Okay, so hope it is clear. The light emitted by different types of luminous objects vary from one object to another. And we know that the sun, as I told you, is the ultimate source of energy. The sun gives us what? Both heat and light energy. We know that the sun's energy, we know without sun no organism cannot live in this earth crust. You had already studied in the previous chapters about the preparation of food by the plants. Who helps in the preparation of food? Yes, it is the sunlight. With help of sunlight, chlorophyll, then carbon dioxide, water and minerals, plants are preparing the food. If light is not there, absolutely, you know that the plants, they cannot prepare the food. Even though all other ingredients are there, if sunlight is not there, plants cannot prepare the food. And sun gives us what? Heat. That you had already experienced it so many times, isn't it? Especially during the noon time. We had experienced the heat rays or hottest rays of the sun. Some days we had already experienced it, right? Yes. So the sun gives us what? Both heat and light energy. Clear? Yes. Now we can move on to, that the light travels. All the, sound is traveling, light is traveling. And can you see or can you say the speed of the light? We cannot even imagine the speed of the light. The light travels 3 lakh kilometer. 3 lakh kilometer in 1 second. Can you imagine? Now 1 second is over. Within this 1 second, the light travels how many kilometer? 3 lakh kilometer. 3 lakhs kilometer. 1 second. So 1 year, can you imagine? So the scientists, they had calculated a different unit for the measuring the speed of the light, that is the light year. What is light year? It is the light traveled in what? It's the light travel in the 1 year. That is it. 1 second, it takes how many? 1 second, 3 lakh kilometers, and light is the distance traveled by the light in 1 year. Can you just calculate? 1 second, 3 lakh kilometer. 60 second, 18. 60 second, how many? Just calculate. Then 60 second means 1 minute. Then how many? Then next 24 hours, can you imagine? 1 day, can you calculate? No, it's too difficult. So the scientists, they had given what unit? Light year. Not this minute or this light year, is the distance traveled by the light in 1 year. Clear? And you know the sun. All the stars are releasing the light and heat. But we get the light of only the sun. Why? Yes, sun is closest to the earth. All other stars are far away from the earth. So it takes more time for that sunlight, so light to reach the earth. But sun is comparatively nearer, comparatively only. Not is the nearest one, sun is comparatively nearer to the earth. So we are getting the heat and light of the sun. Okay, children? Yes. So today we have discussed about what? The importance of light. You know, in the absence of light, we cannot see any objects, and in the presence of light only, we can see the object. And how can we see the object in the presence of light? Because when light falls on the object, what happens? It gets reflected into our eyes. Then we can see the object. Then what? We discussed about luminous object and illuminated objects. Luminous objects are objects that can give us light. That is, they are the sources of light. Then luminous object can be classified into two. What are they? Natural luminous object and man-made. Natural luminous object, you had seen the sun. Man-made, candle, torch, bulb, etc. They are the examples of man-made luminous object. Then what is illuminated object? The objects that are lighted up by the light of any luminous object. By using the torch or by using the sun, by decorating the, by the bulbs and all, we can illuminate the objects. During the festival season, we are decorating the, temples, mosques, churches, as well as our own houses. We are decorating by using the small bulbs. Nowadays, we are using LED bulb. That's for illuminating, for giving light to that, isn't it? Otherwise, no, even though simple bulb is there, power is also needed. Then all it can be illuminated. Then we know Earth is a typical example of an illuminated object. When sun's light falls on it only, Earth can be visible. Then we discuss what is light. Light is a form of energy, and you know that different types of luminous objects reflect different amount of light. You had already seen the example also. Then we know the importance of sun's light for the preparation of food by the plants and for the survival of any organism. Sunlight is very much needed. And finally, we discussed about the speed of the light. The light travels, yes, how many kilometers per second? 3 lakh kilometers per second. So that is known as the light year. Light year is the distance traveled by the light in 1 year. And now, my dear children, you should go through the lesson, go through the pages that I had taught you very clearly. Do the fill in the blanks in it. Until we meet in the next class, it's bye from me. Take care.